Hello everybody, making another coding video on how I'd use Cursor. Today we're going to try to do some market research with Perplexity API in Cursor. So first thing, we load up music and we choose some coding music. All right, now I'm going to delete whatever I had before. Okay, so we have an empty requirements file, and then I'm going to do perplexity query.py. All right, so let's close our chat window and open up Control I. Let's make a new composer window. Just a new one. Plus. All right. So this we have to add which files we want to edit. Function that queries perplex API and returns the answer. I don't like freezing version numbers personally. All right, let's try this. Do not like freezing version numbers. Clear pip3 install. Let's go to pip3 install -r requirements. Great. Got this set up. And get env perplexity API key. So I am going to say, okay, so let's go back to this, Control I, my composer, and say, instead of loading the actually, I can probably, instead of loading the perplexity key from the environment, please read it from a YAML file that is keys as the root object, and then perplexity as the sub object, key as a string. I will make that file locally. Okay. Let's go, Claude. Claude 3.5 Sonnet is my backend right now. Come on, Internet. Let's go. What's going on? Claude API, you are disappointing me. Let's just cancel. Let's to reapply. I want to copy and paste this. There we go. Oh, this whole thing was for .env. I don't like these. So now what's it doing? API keys. Okay, so now I just need to make a file called, what did they name it? File API keys.yaml. And then let's immediately add it to git ignore so it never gets checked in. Thank you. All right. So it's called API keys. Good. And now this I will open on my own computer. So you guys can't see my keys because then you'll steal all my credits. Give me a second. I gotta find my keys. Sale. Okay. That's not right. The key you just saw is not my actual key. All right. So now let's just see what happens. So we want to run and debug this file. So Python debugger, Python file. That's fine. All right, no module named YAML. We can stop this because we have to do pip3 requirements. Okay, and now we can do this. Let's put a breakpoint here. Okay. File not found. API keys.yaml is not found. So what we want to do is let's go back to control. Or we can just, let's do it this way. Highlight everything and just say store. Control K is to store the location of this Python script file in memory. Well, this basic config has to go after this. Okay, and then here we want to say assume that file path is in the same folder as this script. Okay, well, I guess we didn't need to do it up there, right? And let's try this. Press F5 to run this. Script directory is market research. This is full file path. Loading it. I'm not going to show you that, but you can see it starting right there. Query Perplexity. Oh, all right. Bad request for URL. Perplexity.ai.chat.ai. Okay, so at this point, let's open up the chat and say, this is their documentation. So let's go to their quick start guide. Okay, this is good. API reference, chat, dash URL. So I have to include my authorization bearer token. And let's look at the Python example. So what we're going to do is say, this is the documentation. Actually, I can just go right here. Let's show you how this does it. And the result was a 400 client error bad request for URL. So let's see what this does. How much time are we on? We're at 9 minutes already. Well, let's at least try their more detailed error message. Bad request for URL. Let's just do Control K, curl the Perplexity API. It's fine. Permitted models can be found in the documentation. Okay, so I guess I could have just run this and saw what the errors was. So let's try that. I guess this doesn't say. Let's just pause it here, run it again. E. Invalid model. Mixtral 7 by 8. C. Why didn't... Okay. So let's go back to Perplexity's documentation and check their available models. Supported models. Come on, Perplexity. What? This is stupid. Supported models. Okay. So let's just do chat completion. I don't know what their sonar is, but why not? Oh, online LLMs have this. Okay, so I need to do, let's just do this one. Actually, we should say Control I, load the model from the YAML file. That's fine. Actually, for now, I just want to get this working and then we'll do that. Okay. Rerun this. Okay, we've gotten further than last time. The capital of France is Paris. Nice. Okay. So, what we need to do now is answer. Okay. What other options could we send in with this model? Docs, API reference, body. Or I guess they have the instructions there. Max tokens, temperature, top P, return citations. Interesting. Okay, so let's do a list of, actually, let's do it this way. Okay, so what we want to do is use the OpenAI API, assume that the API keys.yaml file has a key defined to come up with a list of several query that okay, use to input a company name and come up with a list of several queries that we can later pass on to Perplexity to get information about market research about that company. So we just need this query and assume it's in my YAML file, my OpenAI key. So let's see what this does. We're at 15 minutes. Okay. Let's just see what happens. And I just need to put my OpenAI key in here. Give me a second to do that. Okay. I don't think this is the latest model. 4.0 mini, sure. Okay, so so let's just see if this works. Put a breakpoint here, press F5. Import OpenAI. Okay, so I hate these equals. Let's stop this. Pip install. Cool. Now let's try this again. All right. OpenAI chat completion to the README at this for the API. OpenAI, it's fine, whatever this is. Install. What's wrong with this? Chat. OpenAI. Okay. Okay, so what we're going to do is highlight this, Control K, use this format. And that's what we got to do. Okay, let's accept this. All right, let's try this again. Okay, what's the error now? The model does not exist. You have access to it. Okay, so model not found. What models? Let's say it's Perplexity. What are valid model names for OpenAI's API? GPT-4o dash mini. Didn't I do that? GPT-4o dash mini. Oh, whoops. That was a mistake. That cursor did. All right, let's rerun this. Put a breakpoint. Okay. Queries equals. I want info debug level. Okay. What is Tesla's current market share? Okay. Invalid. So now let's go to Generating. Let's pause it right here and run it here. Okay, so if we go to the debug console, completion dot choices 0 dot message dot content. Okay. We don't want, okay, so let's change the system prompt because it's trying to get this. What I'm going to do is just copy this and say the OpenAI output is given like this. So please either fix the system prompt or better interpret the output, preferably the former. And then we paste this in. And let's rerun this. Okay. So let's try this just in line. Length of this is 5. Okay, great. Now we have our queries. So now we're asking questions about this. I guess this takes a while to run. I hope I'm not being rate limited. While this is going, I want to say the Perplexity queries and their output should be stored in a CSV file for output. Yeah, I don't need anything. Oh, you're killing me. You're killing me. Perplexity query. Great. Let's accept all these changes. Save to CSV. Okay. So now let's just run this whole thing once. Python 3, market research, Perplexity query. And what was the input company name? Tesla. Now let's do this. Control K, require a command line argument of the company name as input. Great. I have to install requirements. Oopsies. I need pandas, apparently. Please provide a company name as a command line. Tesla. Great. And we'll see what the output looks like. I bet this large is not very good and not necessarily needed. So let's just go to supported models. I'm just going to do the small. Yeah, but this large is taking too long for inference, which is why my payload takes a while. I could add timing and I can show this in a web browser, but I think I'm going to stop this once this works. And we can take a look at the result. And output, Tesla market research. And this is not a CSV. This is really in markdown format. So what we really want to do is name this as .md. And then we can show this here. Future outlook. Okay. And then what we're going to do is so let's do a few more things. One is Control I. The output should not be CSV, but rather .md, since the Perplexity output is in markdown style. Let's just see what this looks like. And then, no, stop editing this. And then, yes, the output's going to ignore. The next thing we want to do is, okay, so actually let's go into here, the query generate. Okay. Let's do this, Control K, pull today's date, pull, and include the current month and year, as well as the previous 3 months in the OpenAI request, so that the queries it generates tends to include current information by including some date information. Let's see what it does. Probably need to import relative delta. So we just go up here, and then you just tap complete this. And let's see how this does. And then we got a new market research. Click preview. Look at this. Which one's the more recent one? This one's the more recent one. Yeah. So look at that, September. Current market share. So these are Perplexity queries. And I think this did a good job. So this could be spit out into a web page or wherever. What I would do next is probably make just a little web server that runs this, or put this behind an API. I would also split this up into multiple files, but this is pretty cool. So let's do another company, right? Let's try this out on X. And then we'll see this in the output folder. This is kind of a long one, but 30 minutes, not bad. X market research. Okay, this is not giving me good results. Company X. Oh, it doesn't know that this is formerly Twitter. So, X formerly Twitter. I don't know if you need spaces or what, but let's try this out. Actually, probably should just put it in quotes. There we go. Main competitors. Mastodon year. Official announcements. This does not have information. Okay, well, I guess the idea is I could keep refining the queries. I'd probably extract out the actual system prompts into a YAML file itself. But this is basically how I basically set up OpenAI. So let's summarize. I use Cursor to set up OpenAI to generate a list of queries that we should ask Perplexity about a company. And then I use the Perplexity API to search recent news about that company and spit out the answer and the market research automatically. So this could be automated. You could have a bot that sends you market information about a company once a week that just runs this whole thing. The system prompts can definitely be improved, and the specific types of queries we're asking could be not generated by OpenAI or could be helped by us. And this could be attached to Zapier or basically just used to run your own web server that just does market research on a company. And then this could be modified to do any current news, like what's the latest political drama this week, and have OpenAI come up with queries and then Perplexity run those queries. So hopefully this was informative and teaching people how I use Cursor, which was the main goal of this. And you saw me try to build something real time from scratch using Cursor. So until next time, this is 33 minutes. So hopefully this was worth it. Watch these at 2.5x speed. It'll make your life faster.